up on any of it, but as far as sound goes, I do have a microphone. If I need to use it in the future, I will. If I need to bring my computer out and use the microphone like others do, I will. But it's kind of an impromptu live reading chit chat on today is the new moon in Taurus. But there's been a lot of buildup, a lot of tension, and for me personally, um, I've been able to understand and resolve a lot of that. Why is this incense not lighting? Okay. I've been able to understand and resolve the tension that is showing up for me personally in very important, specific choices that I need to make for myself. And of course, um, I needed confirmation. I needed more signs, more messages, more clarification. And the more I asked for it, the more I received it. So it's still not easy to make great changes in our lives. We're in what's known as a fixed grand cross energetically, fixed signs, fixed energy. Don't like change or having to make change, or don't easily make big changes easily. Sorry for my voice, my words. I'm still recovering from pneumonia. But I felt it really important to connect and do this video or this live stream, regardless whether there's anybody out there that is going to be connecting with me or not. I was pulling a few cards for myself when just profound insight or just validation came through for me. And I've really felt it important to share with whomever needs to hear it, because this fixed grand cross energy, well, let's take it back to Mars opposing Pluto. This is the third time, the third and final pass of this intense opposition that brings a lot of buildup and karmic energy, tension being built up. And we had it initially begin or activate last October, November, more like early November. And then the second one in January, beginning of January. And now this is the third opposition. And of course, Mars is in a different sign now. Mars is no longer in his extended retrograde cycle. Mars is back in Leo. So back in the very first opposition, we may have experienced some of this energy of this opposition with Mars in Leo and Pluto in Aquarius. Anyway, without getting into the details of all of that, really what it is this these are karmic cycles, karmic lessons. These are patterns that we're meant to recognize. Hello. Patterns we're meant to recognize within ourselves, ancestral patterns even. And when that tension builds to a certain point, the energy must be released somehow. And excuse me. The energy must be released somehow. And we're at that point right now. Some would call it the boiling point. It's also a tipping point for many people. And when I woke up this morning, the song from Bob Marley, Rat Race, was playing continuously. No, I do not. I do not. I'm sorry. Thank you. Waiting for some of my moderators to show up here. Hello, everybody who is new to this live stream. This community, we share our experiences through the energetics and and we talk about astrology. I pull some cards, but I'm not doing any personal readings on these live streams. These are It's about coming together and connecting with each other through really difficult energetic transits that we're all in. And so if you feel like you need a source of support, I'm not really sure what these icons are, Haley. I'm not really sure what that means. Um, so if you feel like you want to be a part of this community as far as being in a supportive, loving community, you're welcome to stay. But any comments or things that are projected out in this space will be removed. So just putting that out there right now. Um, so I hope I came in early. Yeah, I just began about 6 minutes ago. So where was I with this energy, this tension build up that we've all been experiencing from last October, November would be with this particular energetics that we are working through. And it really is helping us break out of very deeply ingrained patterns, ancestral patterns, patterns that have been passed down to us through our parents and grandparents and so on and so forth. So we get to a point of great tension in an area of our lives. And that's where we're at right now. This tension has been building for quite some time. And this new moon is really the opportunity to react and respond in a new way, in a more mature way, in a more healthy way for ourselves, as well as recognizing what changes do we need to make? Well, I've started to fully recognize the changes that I need to make, and a lot of truth is revealed in this current energy of a fixed grand cross with the moon now in Taurus, activating the emotional body into all of the tension that we've been experiencing for some time, and the lessons and the challenges. The Taurus energy is all about our true nature. Hi, Martin. Hello, hello. Good to see you. Just started to talk about just the astrology, the energetics, and it's interesting because I'm still on the mend from having pretty bad pneumonia, and it's taken me a while to recover. And drinking tea. I didn't even read my messages from my tea bag, so let's see what they say first. The first one from, if anybody drinks yogi tea, I'm not here to, I'm not, I don't think I'm supposed to do that, but I want to read the messages on the tea bags. I'm drinking elderberry and lemon balm to assist my body in its healing process, and that is very Taurus energy. Nurturing the self, nurturing the body, slowing down. So the first message on the bag is, in order to be remembered, leave nothing behind but love. And that's a very beautiful message, and important in this passage that we're in of energetics that have been quite difficult. There a lot of tension, just a lot of very intense energies that are reverberating. So it might not be all the time. And just as you think that it's finally kind of waned down, Pluto comes back around and is like, no, we have to really get you to wake up and see the truth. Excuse me. Second message on the I have 2 tea bags in here. Many paths lead to the same destination. It doesn't matter how you get there. And that is so true also. So we're all heading to the same place, the same space eventually. Yet, each and every one of us have our own unique path, and many of us, myself included, do take a very dark path or a dark turn in parts of our journey. We signed up for it to have very unique and important experiences, because when we wake up out of them, when we break free from them, we are breaking the chains, we are breaking patterns, we are recognizing and breaking patterns in a big, big way. Oh, Martin, intense. All right. I find a peaceful place. Find a peaceful place. I just saw the latest Schumann resonance chart. It's a white owl. That's so interesting because I haven't been looking at anything. I have not been looking at my phone a lot since I've been sick. And then I actually was in the mountains this weekend, yesterday, for my daughter-in-law's mother's funeral, or not funeral, but memorial, celebration of life, memorial. So, but I did get a notification just before I even clicked live. Schumann notification popped up, and I can feel it. I can certainly feel all of this energy for sure. So how are you doing in this energy? You know, new moons, this is a unique new moon. This isn't your typical, oh, like plant new seeds for new. Yes, that is true as far as cycles go, new opportunities. But what I'm seeing here is that we really are being asked to not run, not hide, not dissociate or numb out from whatever is causing a lot of stress and tension right now, but to really sit with it and see it. It is a super moon. You're right, Martin. Feels super to me. And sit with it. Sit with the tension. Why is this causing me so much stress and tension? What is this actually showing me? What in my body? Listen to what the body is saying. And I've had to really have that as a harsh reality as my body completely shut down. I saw all of the red flags and the tension and felt it all from what I'm being um, triggered in, and not in a bad way. I want to point out that triggers are not necessarily bad, good or bad. It is how it feels. When we are so-called triggered, it's an energy that hits a sore spot, a weak spot, a spot that we thought was healed or that we had moved on from. And when we get triggered in that spot, you realize, oh, I'm not over something for sure. And that is a beautiful, just unpeeling of another layer of self and self discovery, self awareness, self actualization. So yeah, with this grand fixed cross of energy, I just wrote a few notes, not a lot, like I said. And even as I'm speaking that song, Rat Race, this may just be for me in particular, because that's where I'm being hit, is in the rat race of energetics and an old version of me. And I found an old version of me in operation. Still, and it's time for me to like um not it's not even setting boundaries. It is being honest with myself, being honest with others. Hi, Darren. In a way that is compassionate and loving, and for the best, highest, greatest good of all involved. And it's been really hard. It sounds easy. It's not. It knowing other people's energy, knowing other people's emotional stuff that they're going through, and having a Libra ascendant, that, and we are really, really feeling. Hi, Atuza. Hi, Darren. Hi, Martin. We're really, really feeling that full moon in Libra energy kind of come through this pass of this new moon as well. And that is in our relationships and finances in a big, big way. That's also when Venus moved direct. Um, so that energy is certainly not over. Everything's just been highlighted and shown to us. What do you need to release was the full moon mantra, right? And the sun's coming out here. um, this new moon is just, we've all been feeling the tension, like I was saying. And maybe I'll just start back from the beginning because none of, I mean, there were people, I'm not saying nobody was in here, um, but I had to weed out a lot. And I'm not sure if the moderators are coming in. I had a feeling that I was going to be tested and challenged in going live, but I felt very strongly in my heart that this was the right thing to do and to really connect with all of you. And I'd love to hear your experiences, maybe your self realizations, or I was saying earlier, I needed a lot of validation from myself. I was asking for signs over and over and over again, and even when I received them, I'm like, are you sure? Because these are really difficult, tender choice points that for me personally, I need to make, and that will help to release the tension that has constantly been like pulling at me. Um, that buildup of this tension is just at an all-time high. And really, instead of fighting it, instead of running away from it, instead of numbing out or dissociating from it, that's my big pattern, is just like, not going to play in that game. No, well, if it keeps following you, it's meant to teach and show. We're all playing a part for each other very, very specifically. Um, Darren says, from the beginning, thank you. I was going to make a video to try to express my feelings, but I can't seem to get it out. Oh, Darren. Well, I feel, and that's the other thing, we feel each other. We don't really even need words. Many of us don't need words. I'm glad. I'd love to hear you express your feelings and maybe start writing them out. That's what I used to do. I don't, well, yeah, I write stuff down when it's hard and it's easier. The flow starts to come out. It's good to release and express emotions. And that's definitely what this moon is adding into that tension that's been building up and building up and building up. The moon is adding in the flavor of the emotional body in such a big, oh, you do write it down all the time. Good, good, good. So Taurus again, the moon, the new moon in Taurus is asking us to really ground ourselves in nature, slow down, nurture yourself with a good cup of tea or something that feels good to the body. Taurus is all about the body and embodiment of the emotions, energetics, the psychic experiences, all the other things that are experiencing. Ah, that's a good starting point, Darren. Comes to it, then I freeze. To ask yourself or write about, why am I freezing? What is it in me that has me frozen? And typically it's fear. There's a protector part. The ego is not a bad thing. It is a protector, though, and doesn't want to let the inner child out all the way because it doesn't feel like it's safe. So that's just an interpretation. I'm sure it goes way deeper than that. But you can uncover it for yourself. We answer our own selves, especially when we talk out loud, when we share our experiences with others, our feelings with others, and when we write it down. And when you hit a wall, when you freeze or a block, that's another topic to go deep within. Why do I feel blocked? Why do I feel frozen? Why do I feel stuck? And that is also great topic for this energy that we're in, because we all are at a crossroads right now, seeing very clearly, or feeling very clearly, have where we may be a little trapped or stuck, and it's just our perception, but we feel it, and we can't seem to perceive anything outside of that, any opening outside of that. And it's important to really practice the pause, this Taurus new moon, slowing down, connecting with nature, and going deeper within, because we've got Mars and Leo. And that's an energetic that can go one way or the other. What I'm experiencing is like Mars and Leo in shadow can be overly dramatic, overly wanting to be seen, needing to, like, all the bells and whistles, see me, hear me. I want to show you all my flair. I want to show you all the greatest things that I can give to you. But on the other side of that, Mars in Leo is it's leadership, strength, courage, truth, deep truth. And that's from the heart, Leo, from the heart. What happens, hi Jerry, what happens if we can't find anyone to open up to? Well, here's a community that you're welcome to open up to. I know in the beginning stages of my journey of really discovering more and more aspects of myself and really needing to release a lot of emotions, and finding that there wasn't anybody safe enough to, because you want a safe person, a safe space. That's when I began writing first to myself. And you feel it out. You feel out who is an open, safe container for me to just express, and not looking for answers or advice that you would maybe sign up to go to. I mean, I don't go to a session with somebody, but even then we answer ourselves. We can definitely get our own answers. And here's another great aspect of this energy is, even when we receive our own answers, even myself, and I say even myself because I'm constantly looking at my shadow and all the parts within me and how they are interacting with other people and the dynamics of life itself. I go deep and I read into other people's energy. I do this all day and night. And I still found myself at a place where I didn't trust the answer I was giving myself, because it's different. I have a lot of fixed energy in my chart too. I have Scorpio sun, Leo moon. And this is a hard one for my Libra ascendant to speak my truth. There's parts of me that are like, what if you're wrong? What if I'm wrong? Well, you can't deny the body. You can't deny what you're feeling in your heart. And my physical body literally broke down. So I'm like, okay, I'm not wrong. I just need to honor the truth in me. Yes, we are our own best physicians for sure. Absolutely. And therapists and whatnot. But it is important, on the journey. We are, as if we are open to it, typically once we get to know ourselves and honor ourselves and all of our emotions fully, shadow, meaning aspects of ourselves that we don't want to take accountability for, which we all have, aspects of ourselves that we have suppressed, denied, we see in others, yet we may place judgment on others, and that is only because that aspect within ourselves, we have a strong judgment on. So when you really do shadow work and get to know and love your shadow and be really honest with ourselves about all the different parts and archetypes that um, are part of our consciousness and our experience here, it's a beautiful unfolding of like finally not placing blame or judgment on others. This is the path that everybody is on to some degree. There are many teachings and many different languages and cultures that all say the same thing. And it starts with self-love, love of all of ourselves. And I feel like some of the hardest hiccups for many of us to getting to that part is the shame and the guilt that we have carried, that our ancestors have carried, um, regarding our trauma responses, our unconsciousness, our unconscious responses and patterns. When they are shown to us, when we take accountability for them, the healing begins, the self-love begins. Yeah, Martin says we don't choose our parents. We chose their traumas for our soul's evolution. Yep. Every single person that we engage with and have that come into our lives and play a specific role, it is all divinely orchestrated. And in the beginning, when I was given this information, I was like, no, that is not, I would not have chosen this. I did not choose this. But through my journey of self-discovery, self-awareness, I can clearly see and love all of it, the good, the bad, the ugly, all of it. As my grandson says, all of it. He comes up a lot to teach me. My 3-year-old grandson is one of my greatest teachers right now in innocence, in patience, in unconditional love, for sure. But this buildup of tension, it needs a release point. So this new moon is giving us the opportunity to not release the tension in an old karmic way, whether it be fight, explosion, run away, freeze, hide, numb out, dissociate, check out, all of those things. We've done them. We've done them in the last 2 passes, I would imagine, of Mars and Pluto from last October, November, and this past January to now. And it's the new moon. So the more we can sit with the tension, the more we can choose a different way of responding to whatever is pulling at us and giving us great intense tension and stress, possibly. We're able to really plant that new seed in the ground. The new seed, we need to be grounded though. That's the thing. Recognizing, all right, I've been here before. I've had this experience before. I've responded this way before. I've responded that way before. I've reacted this way before. I've reacted that way before. None of it worked to my benefit. It's still here. So what is the highest, greatest way to respond to this energy? And that's where we're at right now. I'm not giving anybody answers. I want to have a dialogue on all of this for sure. And knowing that we're coming off of that full moon in Libra, I feel like for many of us, the tension lies either in our relationships or in our finances. And our finances are a direct reflection to our relationship with ourselves as well. I know that's a really hard pill to swallow for many people. And it's even more difficult when we're looking out at the world stage of just insanity, right? I mean, it's like, it's hard to make heads or tails with a lot of things. Although when you feel through it and you use your psychic senses or your discernment, you can truly see through the veil of illusion that has been placed on us for so long. I mean, our entire lifetimes and lifetimes prior to that. Um, so Lilith, Black Moon Lilith, which is not a planet. It is not, it is a point in the moon's elliptical that is as far away from the moon. The dark side of the moon is the easiest way to really describe that energy. And that energy is definitely a part of this fixed grand cross. And in Scorpio, and so Lilith is emotions, deep, hidden, covered, buried emotions. When it comes to our deepest, darkest fears, and also from not only our personal traumas, but traumas that we were born into and carried with us from our lineages. And so in Scorpio, though, if we allow it, if we allow this energy to really show itself to us, this is our shadow. We've been doing shadow work, whether you're aware of it or not. This whole entire past week has just been all about the shadow. And most likely, you're seeing and witnessing the shadow in others. You're witnessing and seeing the collective shadow. But then, as we evolve, as we grow, we begin to take a look at ourselves. All right, what shadow of myself is arising? You know, and for me, I know I was really, really, really sick all week. But at the same token, I still had a lot of energy and tension pulling at me, and my shadow came out to protect me. And I recognize that, don't push me. Don't push me, especially when I'm not feeling well. But also, we can see our shadows in others. So instead of judging others and their shadow, take a look like, oh, I think I have played that role in a previous part of my life. I know, thank you, Darren. We can see all the archetypes and roles and parts that we've played in our timeline of life experience up to now. Very, very, like, I haven't been always been able to see this, but it seems as though this past week was super extra strong. Oh, it's squaring your natal Lilith in Leo. Wow. Wow. And what house is that? If you don't mind me asking. I mean, you don't have to answer if you don't want. Um, huh. Yeah, well, it's squaring my moon in Leo, and it is in my, even though Scorpio, I'm a Scorpio sun in the second house, this degree of Lilith, first and second degree of Lilith, hits my first house. So you can, I mean, and I can definitely see this is all about me. And it's so interesting how my physical body took such a turn for the worse too, because I have a lot of sixth house and 12th house activations going on as well. And recognizing when my body is speaking very loudly, I'm not listening to the energetics. I was overriding feelings of tension because that's what we do. That's what we've done to survive all this time. And it can be really difficult when you feel like you're a survivor of life, and I can just roll with these punches and roll with these punches, and the universe is like, you don't need to. We were trying to show you how you can break free from it. That was my biggest aha. And I still was like, can you clarify? Can I get more messages of this? Because I have it's almost like the martyr in me wants to just keep on going, right? Darren says, Martin, if I ever get through this, I'll go for a Guinness zero alcohol with you. Aw. Third house. Okay. And how is that impacting you right now, if you don't mind sharing? I'd like to have everybody kind of dialogue and share what their experiences are, and not be the this is what's happening. I will read into the cards though. I will pull cards. Um but that's I'm going back to Bob Marley again. Rat race. Oh, what a rat race. And man, oh man, that song followed me around till I was like, okay, I get it. I don't want to be a part of the rat race. I never wanted to be a part of the rat race. And I can clearly see how I enable the rat race in my experience by being an enabler. And it is time for me to step down from certain things and allow others to um, make their own important decisions then too, because it's taken a toll on my health, and it's taken a toll on my energy and my creativity, uh, drastically. And that's the tension that I felt. Pluto in Aquarius. Pluto's part of this fixed grand cross as well. And these are long buried things that have been hidden from ourselves. We've hidden from ourselves. And I even said this morning to the guides, why couldn't I see this as clearly through the last two passes of Mars Pluto opposition? Why do I see it clearly now? And I couldn't fool it. I saw it, but I didn't see it as clearly before. It's been buried. It's truth. It's truth that I knew. It was hard truth that I didn't feel comfortable enough. Like, here's where it comes to the point of not ever being able to speak your truth because trauma from the gaslighting. Yeah, exactly. I think that's exactly what it was. Plus, facing certain archetypes and characters that, um, without degrading anybody, because I know the pattern. Um, Need to talk or gossip. It's not even gossipy like in a bad way, but it's needing validation for how they feel about their experience with another person. So instead of having a one-on-one dialogue with that person, um, trying to get that validation through others, like, can you see my side, can you see my point? And those are things that really, I've certainly played that in my past for sure, but that's why that triggers me, because I need to, that's a shadow, and it really is just it's an unconscious, it can be conscious for many. um it's just why, and to not let the energy get out of control, because those certain energies can turn from gossip or talking behind people's backs to a projection of gaslighting, because that's the ego's way of protecting themselves. Like, I didn't really mean anything bad about all this, but we all are so super sensitive to each other's energy, and we can read between the lines and feel the energy. It doesn't matter what show is being put on. Leo, again, what show? Big smile, nice fluffy words, and love bombing. I've had a lot of that come back, and I'm like, oh, please do not love bomb me, because you're just showing me an aspect of yourself that I have compassion for, but I also will not tolerate. I mean, I don't take the bait like others do. You know what I'm saying? I hope that makes sense. They wouldn't talk to me. It was hard. I'm sorry. We can use these experiences with other people to really, again, free ourselves from patterns that keep us stuck and keep us in these relationship type dynamics with other people, because that's definitely been a huge, huge theme for quite some time. I'm going to get some cards out. So glad to see you guys all here. And feel free to share whatever you feel like sharing as far as your own personal experiences. And let's just be kind with one another, understanding that this is a very sensitive time. We're all really vulnerable and stripped pretty raw. Mars and Leo can really activate the big, strong ego of like, let's charge. But that's more that Aries energy also that we're kind of diffusing away from. So we want to find the courage and the strength within ourselves to act from the heart, to speak from the heart, to listen to our own heart. Martin, I'm just being quiet today. I spent yesterday evening replacing bushings and drop links on my daughter's car at my own expense. The least I'd expect is thanks. I guess I should lower my expectations. Well, I don't even know if it's exactly lowering expectations, but ask yourself what arises within me on a deeper level when I'm not given a reciprocity or some kind of acknowledgement. And that goes back to, the childhood. And all of these things are surfacing to us so that we can clear it and not hold anybody else. Everybody's going to be held accountable for their own stuff, but we don't have to place that on other people. Like, you owe me an apology, or you owe me a thank you, or you owe me this, or you owe me that. It will come with grace. It will come in time. Is recognizing the emotions and the patterns that arise when we have these experiences, when we do things for others. And family is a great example, because we are all kind of conditioned in our own family dynamics to some degree of accepting certain behaviors, and that's just so and so, they had a hard time and a hard life. Like, no, we need to honor our feelings, honor our stuff, but on a deeper level, not look outside this is the hard one, not look outside of ourselves for what it is that the heart or the inner being is asking or needing. And why do we do the things that we do for others? Truly, are we looking for some kind of pat on the back? Are we looking for I'm doing this so that I am seen in the best light? I mean, that's shadow. That's really hard to admit a lot of times. I've had to really come to terms with that. Even with my own child, you don't see it because that's how we've operated in these dynamics for such a long time. But and I'm not saying that's for you, Martin. I'm just saying from my own experience, I had to see that shadow aspect of myself, that there was something in me that needed something. What was it, and why do I do what I do? Is there an inner critic part in me that still carries some kind of judgment about myself, or criticism about myself, or and am I looking to resolve that with another outside of myself? We can never resolve our own inner stuff with anybody outside of ourselves, but we can use the gift of reflection that we are gifted with, especially with family. We can thank and honor our mothers and fathers for gifting us with life. And we can thank our brothers and sisters for the gift of reflection. Our brothers and sisters across time and space, anybody that we are connected to, friends, family, cousins, aunts, uncles, brothers, sisters, you name it, that is reflection. And I find that that is the response that comes to me immediately when I'm met with tension through another. I have to practice that pause, feel the feeling, and then realize, thank you for the gift of reflection. Thank you for what you are trying to bring out, like pull out. It's like pulling out. It's deeper than splinters. It's deeper than that. It's like, get all of this old stuff out. This world is going to be changing so fast and so hard and so intensely that we are given this opportunity right now to practice grounding, practice shadow, honoring all of ourselves. We are needed. We are needed so much in the future months to come. We are needed together to unite our light, unite our hearts. The more of us that can do this, the better, because the other energies are coming, and we want to really be able to support one another in this journey. And if we keep seeing our shadow in others and running and or fighting it or projecting back out at it, and this has nothing to do with anything that you're saying, Martin, this is just energy that's coming through me right now. This is the beautiful time to really have all of this clearing, all of this up, like upheaval, purging. As like I've been like coughing up stuff. I'm like, where is this coming from? Right? It's that release. We need a release point, but how? It's always a choice. It's always a choice on when the tension boils to the surface. And now they're showing me boiling water. So when we're in that energy of something's boiling, our emotions are boiling, we are not going to be able to clearly see our reflection in boiling water, right? You're not. It's when we calm down, when the water is still, that we can look and see our reflection. Darren, I'd love you help. Believe it or not, I was trying. They wouldn't let me do anything. That's how I see it anyway. When it comes to others, we have to remember that every single person is on their own journey of what they signed up to learn from, and they're going through their points of tension and points of boiling points of their own. And I know from experience, I cannot interfere with somebody else's karmic lesson unless I'm supposed to be part of it. And that happens when I'm not able to fully see. This comes back to my question that I asked this morning. Why am I seeing this so clearly now, and I wasn't able to fully see it as clearly in the past 6 months? I felt it. I saw glimpses of it, but I wasn't at a point of making a choice or a decision for myself at all, because it wasn't clear. It was very hazy. It was very foggy. It was very alluring. I am meant to be in this karmic lesson with another person, right? So the fog comes on, because this is our, like, we are each other's lessons, karmic lessons. And now the fog's lifted, and it's like, oh, I have an important choice to make. I have something important I need to say. I have an important truth that I've got to reveal for myself. And it's going to affect the other person in a big way. And I'm not doing that to affect another person. I'm doing this because the tension has come to a breaking point, and I have to follow my heart. I have to follow my intuition. I have to follow my gut. Oh, Martin, I pulled the father wound this morning. It is so blatantly clear. And then when it came out, let's get those cards first. When it came out, I was like, thank you. I see it. I know it. Martin says, I could be dealing with father issues. He was also taken advantage of by others. Yep, 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 yep. Yes, yes. And, my father was an artist, um, very good artist, but he did paintings in his earlier years, but then moved into, commercial arts, graphic arts and whatnot to survive that root chakra, to make money, and totally gave up painting and was in the rat race. And that's what really started depleting him in his body. And his pattern was like, just keep going, just keep pushing. He's a Scorpio like me. Keep going, keep pushing, numb it out. When it's really too hard, it's going to be okay. And like, he did do a lot of beautiful things to really leave the corporations he worked for and started his own business. But it was too late. His body had already taken a toll. And the very last painting that he did, I actually encouraged him to start painting again. I think I was like, I might have even been pregnant with Dylan, maybe in my late teens, early 20s. And he never finished the painting, but I didn't finish it totally, but I took the giant canvas, and I'm like, what was he trying to paint here? So I intuitively added to it over time. And you know what it ended up being? I'll have to bring that out someday. You know what it ended up being? A giant sun beaming, and this is before I knew anything about solar flares or anything like that, beaming out, and a pathway that leads somewhere. So I will share that painting with you guys someday. I don't feel like going and bringing it out right now, and it's not complete. It's not done yet. But I don't know, the father wound, yeah. All of these things, these behaviors that we just do because it's survival mode. This is what's going to make me money. This is going to help me maintain. If any of you saw any of my videos that I did while I was on my hammock last week earlier, the one channeling came through, this realization of like, oh my God, just the momentum of all of this stuff that we do just to maintain survival, and it just was killing me. It's what killed literally my father's death had to do with the exact same energy. So I'm faced with that. I don't want my body to shut down. I don't want to shut down, and I'm not anywhere close to that at all. But being super sensitive to energy, I cannot deny what I feel. Even if the mechanism in the mind is still saying, well, you should, just keep going. This is probably good for you. If I'm not feeling it, my body's like, Gotta listen to the body. It never lies. Never. I feel like I'm going like, listen to the body. Okay. Let me just take it down a notch here. Call in the team to join us for messages for us all, for our highest, greatest good at this point of time during the Taurus new moon, the activation point of something new. And this is from what I'm picking up, it is an opportunity to make new choices or decisions in a repeating pattern. This is the opportunity to, when you trust and you follow your heart and you follow your gut, even though it may not make logical sense or rational logical sense to the mind, to the patterned, conditioned mind, when we take that leap of faith, when we follow our heart and our gut, the new door opens. The new door is not open to show us like, okay, here, just jump through here. It's not that easy. We have to shut the old door first before the new door opens. It's an initiation process. Yep. The suffering is a gift. It is. It truly is. And when we recognize that, we eliminate our suffering. It really dwindles down to very little. Of course, we're still going to feel crappy feelings. We're going to still feel stress and tension, but we don't have to hold on to it and carry it around and smother it and love it and like, oh, I'm stressed. Oh, like, you feel it, you own it, you sit with it. What is this showing me? What choice do I have right now? And it all starts energetically. Every choice starts energetically, emotionally, mentally, physically, in the body. And this can really help us from having those knee-jerk reactions to things, or like speaking before we're ready to speak, or acting before we're ready to act. We've all done that, and it never turns out well for any of us. But to really, this is some deep emotional intelligence and just soulful evolution. It's beautiful, and it's squeezing like the energy is not beautiful. I know that. I'm still experiencing it. And I also have a part of me that like has finally come to the conclusion of like, I know what I need to do. There's a part of me is like, all right, let's do that right now. And I had to really sit with that too, because I know it's not the right time. I just intuitively know it's not the right time today. Why don't I slow down and allow this new moon energy to really culminate within me? Allow myself to really ground into what I'm sensing, feeling, knowing within myself. And also allow the universe to open a little window of opportunity. That's usually the best time when you're ready. You're ready to like, all right, gloves are coming off. I'm speaking my truth. I'm standing up for myself or whatever. I've got to make this choice. I've got to quit this job. I've got to leave this relationship. Or I've just got to be really honest with my experience in this dynamic and see what happens there. Sometimes it is just about speaking our truth and not having to leave something behind or run away. It's really important that we get honest with ourselves so we can be honest with others. Really important. Darren, a lot of this could be sorted out with honest phone calls that people are unwilling to make. Yeah, but they're not ready, right? And I don't feel like the energy's ready yet either. We've got Mercury's going to catch up. The communication lines will catch up. This is not the time. You're feeling the tension, just like I was saying. I wanted to jump too. Let's get this over with so I don't have to feel this anymore, right? It's just not the time. It's just not the time yet. Sit and wait and allow. The energetics, the universe will show you the window, the time, the opening. Why? Because we are still in the midst of deep shadow work. And because not everybody is ready. So how would you react if somebody has a projection out at you, right? What if the conversation doesn't go the way that you want it to go? How are you going to react and respond then? Are you ready for that? Truly. Can you be ready for somebody else's, for the unknown? Fully. And with that, I'm going to get a couple, Moonology is calling me. It's deeper than what our ego says. It really is. Yeah, well, that's never going to happen. I will tell you that. Anybody that gaslights, it is that's a pattern of their own egoic protective mechanisms. They're not probably even fully aware of it themselves. They're not going to admit to it. I've never had anybody that's gaslit me admit to it. I've had to level up for myself and recognize I'm being gaslit and take myself off the hook. Totally. So, Let's get a card. Let's get some cards here. Yeah, let's not talk about that, Darren. Is that what you want? Is that what you truly want for yourself? Because it's not funny. There's definitely some things that we have to sit with and face within ourselves, all of us. And they're not easy. They're not easy things. That's right, Martin. What anybody thinks of you is none of your business. That's a hard pill for a lot of people to swallow. It's something I definitely got right off the bat when I heard that saying. I was like, oh, that actually helps me a lot. Me and my codependent person. But yeah, to remember that, you know. I had that on my refrigerator. There's a whole list of like quotes and sayings that I always needed to be reminded of. Look at all these bug bites I have. I was outside on my hammock. I got bit up, and you know why? Because I was going in and out of victim consciousness and co-creator consciousness, right? My light's blinking. It's interesting. So whenever I was in this victim consciousness and I was just kind of swimming in the energy of what was going on for me, every time the victim consciousness came, I would get bit really hard by whatever mosquito or bug was attacking me. I'm like, okay, that's actually taking from me. Everything's symbolic. I read into everything in life. When I get bit and it's like drawing blood or leaving welts, that energy, that mindset, that victim consciousness is depleting me. It's taking from me. It is not empowering at all. All right, let's calm the energy down in the chat here. This is a safe space for us all. This is not an easy energy to be moving through for any of us. We all do have very, very important things that we are moving through. And the shadow is very, very strong, a very strong mirror and projection out there collectively. Bring love into the situation. New moon in Aquarius. This energy is asking us all to bring love into the situation. And if you're unable to sit with that energy and ask why. Why am I not in the... okay, hold on. Why am I not able to pull back into my heart and see everybody playing their own fractal archetype that I've played, and that we're all going through this major passage of clearing karma. That's not easy. It's so hard. It's super, super hard. Show the world the real you at the bottom. Just wanted to show itself. Full moon. We've got two energies of Aquarius, new and full moon of Aquarius in Aquarius. Pluto in Aquarius. I feel like Pluto is speaking to us very loudly through these cards. It is very, very important that we be completely transparent with ourselves and with the world. That requires vulnerability, and it is not easy. It requires us to drop down our egoic boundaries, our egoic layers, the masks that we wear, the defensive energy that we put on for others, the projection, the blame game. We're never going to be free if we keep ourselves trapped in this. Oh, they're showing me a black hole. It really can suck us into an experience that we've already been there, done that. We've already been there, done that. This is an opportunity to make new choices, to have new perception. Our perception will be expanding in the weeks to come from what we are experiencing now in this energy. Whew. So whatever stress and tension has been building is coming to a boiling point. It's important to slow down, to allow it. It's going to have a release point, but ask yourself, what is the release point that my soul actually is asking, my soul is directing me towards? Because most likely, most of us have had the release point of projection, blame, anger, fighting, running away, hiding, numbing. We've all done it. Can't deny that. And if you do, that's your shadow that you need to look at, because that's what the universe is asking us to do. Yeah, vortex. That will suck you in if you allow it. We are given an opportunity for freedom. Freedom. And that's what I've been asking for all week. I'm like, please direct me towards freedom from all of this. Yes, there were certain points in my journey in the past week where I was like, this person, stop it. Like all of this, blame, shame, blah, blah, blah. Like I saw it all. I allowed it all. It just within myself. Got bit all over my face by blood-sucking parasitic energies. Let's see one more. Okay. So we have emotional withdrawal. It's the same message. If you find yourself just about to repeat a pattern, pull it back. This is the advice. Pull yourself back. Sit with yourself. Sit with the emotions. Maybe sit by a body of water. We have some birds that are chiming in outside. Sit with nature. Sit with yourself. This is that point. We're going back through. This is skipped steps. What is that in evolutionary astrology? Skipped steps when Pluto is squared by other planets? We are going back down into our dungeon, our inner psyche, because there are some things that we skipped over. We had our emotional reactions. We've had all of the fight, flight, freeze, fawn. Here's the opportunity. There's the candle lit. There's enlightenment there, but we've got to go down into the basement of our inner psyche and stop playing the game victim, perpetrator, over and over and over and over again. We repeat that over and over and over again. The freedom is in co-creator, to recognize I've been playing in this victim perpetrator role for my whole life. There's just different characters and different scenarios and different things here and there. This is the time. This is what we're being asked to do. Let's go back down. Within, meaning go within. Get to the bottom of it, the root of it. For everybody, it's different, but it's emotions, the root of the emotions. Oh, very common card these last couple of days. Weeks, I mean. Financial and material changes. Right. I'm tired of being inconvenienced. Yep. Breakthrough, right? Now own it. I've had to own it too. It's hard. It's super hard. The characters that are playing with us now are they're hard because we don't want to make the wrong, we don't want to say the wrong thing. We don't want to make the wrong choice or decision. It seems really intense. But we've got to honor what we've been doing. That's shadow too, right? Excuse me. So here's that Venus energy again, or Libra energy, or both. Financial and material changes. They are underway, like it or not. Again, with fixed energy, it's like, I like everything to stay just so I can at least navigate like this. But there are energies that are like really big up and down waves. And there are a lot of changes that are happening materialistically and financially. And that is really sticking it's pouring salt in an old wound for sure. The overall energy here, though, is harmony. That is where we're trying to get to. And if we keep, and look what's below that, disruption, the Tower. We keep getting cracked open. But instead of like sealing it back up, allow that light, that enlightenment to shine through, to show you what patterns you've been operating under that have been giving us this tension and this stress, because that's really what it is. When we are operating under an old operating system of giving, being, playing, like the perspective you're having upon, yes, in some degree, yes. But do you want to keep doing that? Or do you want to keep projecting the blame out? Or can you get to a point of being grateful? Thank you. Thank you for showing me this about myself. I need to remove myself from playing this role, playing this part. The Libra full moon for me, and I didn't fully utilize it all the way, is the word no. How often do I use the word no? Am I able to say no without guilt, without explanation, with love? That's a hard one. That's a hard one for Libra rising, coming from codependency patterns that have kept me safe my whole life, right? Okay, Darren, I don't think you're picking up what the message is, and that's okay, but try not to be projecting. This is a safe space for everyone. Please remember that. I know you're giving me little laughy things, but I feel your energy, so try to practice this. Withdraw back down into you. I'm telling you what I'm feeling here, and this is a safe space for everybody that's a part of this, okay? I understand, but there's a very deeper message here for us all to really get and embody and embrace. And if you want to stay on the surface and keep playing the games with the other characters, just go right ahead. we're trying to break through from that and get to a place of harmony and love coming from the heart and not taking things as personally as we do. It's hard. It is spiritual maturity for sure. Sometimes walking away is the best medicine for all. Absolutely. And that takes courage, you know? Let's see, I really like the way you're explaining this. Thank you. Thank you. This is very refreshing and thorough. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, let's keep going with the rest of the message. Hello from India. Where do we want to go here from here? Okay. Okay. There's no way to really lighten up the message right now because of the extreme intensity of this fixed grand cross that we're under. And I really want to stay in alignment with what it is we are actually experiencing right now and why we're having these experiences. It's not to cause us suffering and pain. And it's actually the opposite. It's to help us become liberated and free from that which has always caused pain and suffering, victim perpetrator dynamics that have just been running rampant for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. So we're actually mentally thinking that this is normal and this is okay. This is not how we humans are meant to interact. We are meant to break these patterns, break free from these patterns. I'm not doing personal readings, sorry. Fixed signs are feeling it the most, I think. Yep, for sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. So for any of you who have strong placements in any of the fixed signs, Taurus, Leo, Aquarius, and Scorpio, you're definitely feeling this much stronger than others, but we're all in this soup together. Excuse me. We're all in it together. Where do we, okay. Oh, I love this. And I have not actually pulled from this deck since the last time I read from this new chapter, Tarot. Many of you may remember when I found it mysteriously in my office. I was like, oh, I forgot I had this deck for years. It wasn't time for it to come out because this is a new chapter. And we're reading a new energy. So much love to you too, Darren. It's not easy. I know it's not. We're all in this together. I don't have it all together. I've had my own internal outbursts this week, for sure. And I allow myself to. I don't project it onto anybody, though. I know better. I don't even want to put that energy out there towards another person because I know it's felt. We feel each other's energy. This is what people call psychic attacks. And it's repeating the victim perpetrator paradigm. And I know for me personally, I really want to break free heavily, like that with all my heart and soul. That's all I want is to break free from that. And I know that all of us do, truly. We don't stand a chance on this planet if more and more of us can't get to that space to bring more peace and harmony on the planet. Look at the whole world stage. It is coming apart. The nature of it, the true nature of humanity, of Earth. Katy Perry went to space. Like, come on, guys. Really, these things are like, it's going to get even more ridiculous. all of the world stage stuff. And if more and more people are waking up because of it, it's it's interesting. I can't find the word for it because it's just like, okay. It's going to get even weirder and crazier as we move into June, July of this year. So we are at this point right now where we can come into a harmonious balance within ourselves. Yes, I'm so happy people are finally waking up too. Because we need, and then, you know, the whole process of awakening is not easy. Everybody, and I've been receiving messages that those who are having their awakenings now, their process is not the same as those of us who may have had our awakenings years ago, because of the evolution that we've already met energetically, if that makes sense. We've leveled up with frequency. The earth is at a certain frequency. We are, as humans, trying to match and meet the earth's frequency, and then so there are ancient teachings that will always be very helpful, especially in the beginning stages of awakening and out of the egoic mind, out of the programmed mind, out of and that's not easy, because but the crazier and weirder the program gets, the easier it is to break free from it, for sure. Cringy, all right. That it would on steroids. Listen, there are some incredible people that are really speaking out and having and building beautiful platforms. If you haven't already, there are doctors. Check out what's his name? Dr. Zach Bush. He's on Instagram for sure. His content is incredible. He was a surgeon, a doctor. He still is a doctor, but had a great awakening after a massive car accident, and he left his body, had an out-of-body experience, you know, a near-death experience, and it totally changed. Like, that was his. A lot of us had to have those kind of like rude awakenings, but because of his platform, because of all of his scientific data that he had collected up until that point, he now uses that, and so does like Dr. Joe Dispenza and what's the oh my gosh, all the names are escaping me. There's a lot of amazing people out there with a lot of amazing content that are really helping people along on this awakening journey to discover there's so much more, and everything that we have been taught and all of our systems and structures are actually all tied into this control tactic, control and power and control dynamic, medical, educational, especially in the United States. But I can't speak for any other countries. I live here, and this has been my experience. But I do see that reverberate out as well. Yes, Bruce Lipton, thank you. And then, of course, we have Greg Braden also and his archaeological discoveries. It's just like, but I love to direct people towards them. If you have more of the scientific mind, like, you know, to help open something up. I'm not saying to believe anybody, but what resonates with self. Each and every one of us has a very specific blueprint of how we resonate with information and things like that. So it's incredible. Yeah. Thank you, Martin. Bruce Lipton. Darren, I've had loads of plant medicine experiences. It's amazing. You have to be careful of some of the people that dish it out, though. Great book called Hummingbird Journey to God explains the charlatans. Yeah, plant medicine can be very helpful. Can, if you're ready for it, it can also be quite the ride for some who are not. There's so many different avenues, so to speak. to the same place, really. We're all going to the same place. We're all headed to, what's that song? We're all headed to the same place. Ain't nobody winning. We're only here for a minute. So everybody calm down. Everybody slow down. We're all running in the same race. So you better get to living. We're only here for a minute. So everybody slow down. My voice isn't that great yet, but I actually can sing. All right. Let's see what wants to come through the new chapter. There's been a lot of breakthroughs even with psilocybin here in this country. There's a few states that have legalized it now for medicinal purposes, which is incredible. A breakthrough. There's always going to be the duality of the opposing energies that don't want people to know the truth, that don't want us to realize that we have the power within, the co-creative ability within. That's why we've been numbed down by all kinds of tactics, and they're still doing it. And not to be afraid, not even to be afraid of the chemtrails and the things put in our food. Be discerning what you eat and drink and all of that stuff for sure. The body is an incredible machine that will regenerate as long as you are working with energy. We can't be stopped if we keep following our path, our soul's path. You cannot stop the evolution. Cannot stop the evolution. Two of Discs. It's time to stop juggling. I'm going to actually read these from the book because the deck is so new and it's completely different than the traditional tarot. Okay, thank you. Hanged Man. Okay. Six of Cups. And the Ten of Swords at the bottom. Ah, oh, that good old Ten of Swords, right? What's running the show, right? Is it overthinking? Is it the program? Conditioned mind? We really need to break free from that. Let's start with the Ten of Swords. Starting with the Ten of Swords as the overall energy for this message. A swift and brutal ending. After the turmoil of the Nine of Swords, you will have argued yourself into a standstill, resulting in mental exhaustion. All sides have been considered and examined, and I can't read this word, ad nauseum. Ad nauseum. Approaching the problem from an intellectual standpoint has reached its conclusion and the limit of its helpfulness. It's time to make a choice. Looks like a table mountain. It's time to make a choice. This is definitely where I've been like trying to think it, trying to logically work our way out of whatever tension and stress is really hitting us hard, is causing exhaustion, mental exhaustion. And the Ten of Swords is like, you can't go any further. There's got to be a different way, a new chapter. Two of Discs. Let's go to Two of Discs. Keep an eye on the chat to make sure it's all copacetic. Okay, good. So, the duality of life. ripening and rotting, waxing and waning, yin and yang, light and dark, the cell dividing itself in two as the first act of reproduction, the gears of material existence slowly overcoming inertia. Consider your basic earthly needs and how you will fulfill them. Growth has just begun, and you must find a distinction between that which serves you and that which does not. So in alignment with everything that we were just talking about. The Hanged Man. This is the Hanged Man. This one is very interesting depiction of the Hanged Man. Feels like limbo? It's not. Use this time wisely for sure. Halting at the crossroads. This is Odin hung from the world tree to gain wisdom. It's time to seek new perspectives and cultivate patience. This card invites you to look beyond. It is the outer planets of the solar system, which represents dreams, upheaval, and death. The outer limits of your understanding have been reached. So wait. You are on the cusp of a new reality, but you must wait for it to present itself, or until your own understanding has grown enough for you to recognize what it means for you. And then the Six of Cups. This is certainly resonating for me 1000%. Inner peace, reintegration of the self, kindness. The Six of Cups marks a resolution of past traumas stemming from childhood. Not everything has to be perfect. Let go and accept yourself as an evolving being who has come so far already. Forgive yourself for things that were most likely not your fault in the first place, and feel comfortable in your own skin. It's all right. I mean, whew. Yeah, it's time to stop letting the mind chatter get the best of us. It actually is not helping us resolve anything in this situation. And realizing that we are transforming, even the cells in our body are changing. This is the duality of life. We are having a split. There is definitely a giant split even in consciousness as we are at this point right now. The Hanged Man, this point in space, this limbo time you will find it very valuable in the future days to come if we take that moment to practice the pause, sit with ourselves, sit with our emotions, allow new perspectives to arise, allow new enlightenment to awaken us, to realize whatever's happening on the outside world through others, whatever they are doing, right, is what we're actually doing to ourselves by staying in this old energy, this old pattern, by feeding an old pattern, by enabling an old pattern, maybe enabling old patterns of others. But we cannot change another person. The only person we can change is ourselves. And it is such an important perspective to always keep at the front line of experiences when it comes to others, because the ultimate goal is harmony, peace, to be able to really bring love into the situation, because love always wins. I think that, what are we at, 94 minutes? I think that that is the message. I really feel that we've just kind of gone around in a circle and a circle and a circle, but the message gets stronger and stronger and stronger. And it is important that we take this time to really allow ourselves to get cracked open if we need to get cracked open. You know, it's truly, its purpose is to bring us into more harmonious balance with ourselves, with life, with nature, and ultimately with others. Because the others are parts of ourselves. So if you don't love all yourself, you're certainly not going to be able to bring love in the situation with another all the way. And I know that's a hard concept for many to still grasp, but it is the message, it is the truth that I certainly have experienced in my journey, and I will continue to share my experiences and the messages that come through. So, ah. I feel like yeah, I feel like that's it. I feel like we're here. Thank you all for being a part of this. We made it through without any moderators today. And so I thank all of you for keeping the energy in the chat positive and harmonious for the most part. I know that we're all going through some stuff. And I do want to encourage people to share, but when I start to feel projections or too much energy, I'm going to ask to, like, let's dial it down and bring it into our heart space. Thank you so much. Thank you, Darren. Thank you, Martin. Thank you all for being part of this and joining in and sharing and dialoguing. This was a beautiful, safe space. And look, we did it. We did it with no moderator. So yes, so much love to you guys all. Happy full moon in Taurus. And I will reconnect with you soon. Can't wait to see what newness is going to be arising out of all of this for all of each and every one of us. So much love to you all. Bye.